Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossi, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with the story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossi, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
All right. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and I'm sitting here with Big Stu.
Hey.
And
Big Stu rolls in like a westbound train, dust on his boots, stories in his brain. He's got a voice like gravel, rough and low, knows the roads where the wild winds blow. He's seen it all, from the highs to the pain, every bar, every back row lane. Big Stu, tell me what you've seen. The whiskey nights, the faded dreams, a heart that's open, raw and true. Country music lives in you, Big Stu.
And this is our annual podcast together, I guess, where we talk about the Golden Guitars. And once again, the Golden Guitars was amazing. 10 days, I think it is, in Tamworth. You were just rattling off some of the stats there, Stuart.
Yeah, so it's an awesome weekend. It's an awesome weekend for the community. They saying they had 300,000 people through.
Yeah,
averaging 30 to 40,000 people a day. The opening ceremony was the opening concert. Was 80,000 people, and that's 25% up on last year. They expect to inject $100 million into the Tamworth community, which is absolutely awesome.
Unbelievable.
For the event. 400 buskers they had there appearing on Peel Street, and obviously they call that the Boulevard of Dreams, because obviously that's where everyone starts, and 700 performers total. So, and then the numerous free concerts and stuff. So it's an amazing 10-day package. On top of that, there's a couple of outside things. You know, it is all about the music, but they've added some other things to it, obviously, which helps attract numbers. They have the 2026 Extreme Bulls and Extreme Bronx Australian radio.
It fits in.
It fits in. They have the Australian Bushman Camp Draft and Radio Association National Radio Finals that are on.
Yeah.
And also Tom Curtin, who was down there and nominated for Traditional Album of the Year. Unfortunately didn't win, but he was down there with his Catherine Outback Experience. So that's for the kids. And they've got all the other stuff. So it's a whole package.
It certainly does sound like an awesome weekend. And what I like about the Golden Guitars is the social media buzz that you get from it, but they're also incredibly generous in the live streaming of their concerts, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they really do stand above, just about every other music festival that's out there in Australia. So well done to the folks at Tamworth Country Music Festival. So this year I heard that there was a couple of bands that you may not consider country that played at some of the taverns there. So I heard the Radiators were down there, and there was another couple of bands of that ilk. So obviously you can't do country music for 10 days. So why not pop along and see the Radiators? And anyone who's ever seen the Radiators, I saw them back in their heyday, and they were not a bad band to go see. They were a little bit funny, but But before we get into the winners of the Golden Guitars, because I know that's why people tune into this particular episode, let's talk about the amazing thing. So before we talk trophies, albums, and the big night that happened, the amazing thing that once again happened on the red carpet was the wonderfully, this is the biggest news that came on the night, can I tell you? Katie Brooke, you legend, stopped, grabbed the microphone off Mel Dyer, who we love and Rossi's good mates with, and just simply looked at the camera and said, can I just do a quick shout out to the boys? And I think it was awesome to see Mel's response, and I don't even know the male host that she was with. He's a drummer for someone. But it was a very much a surprise. We just needed a second one to follow up, and then maybe they could have said, oh, who are these boys?
Oh, now we've got Katie
Brooke.
Come on in. You look
stunning. Come up here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Did I catch you at the post office the other night?
Yeah, went at the post office yesterday. Packed room, awesome vibes. It was probably one of the best shows yet.
It was very, very cool. I had not seen a show of yours until then, and I absolutely loved it. So congratulations, that's great.
You excited for tonight? I feel like one day this might be an award you might be up for. I think your time's coming. Let's hope so. Who knows? It's been a great year regardless, though. Yeah.
So good. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much.
Just a quick shout out to the boys. Shout out to the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Whoever the boys are, all the boys.
Which is the whole point. But Katie, you certainly made my night. I was sitting there in my lounge room, and Sharon was saying, are you expecting one? I said, I really don't know, Sharon. And then all of a sudden, Katie Brooke just delivers, and Sharon and I were going, yes! I've never seen my wife so excited for a shout out to the boys. So, Katie, you are a legend. And if you've been following us on our social media, we've got the video there, and I will probably repost it many times during the course of the year. So it was awesome. So Katie, and I do agree with Mel when she said, Katie, this night's going to be for you 1 year. And I absolutely agree. She's an amazing talent, Katie Brooke. So if you haven't heard of Katie Brooke's music, go out and give it a listen. But the big thing also that came from that, Stewie, is that I put together a Hall of Fame, right, on the Unfiltered and Undiscovered website. So the Hall of Fame is for anyone that's ever done a shout out to the boys. And if it was only that, we'd only have two. So shout out to Brittany Elise, who did it last year. But so I've included those that have had multiple episodes. So Stewie, you're not part of the Hall of Fame because you're one of these special co-hosts that pop in every now and again. But I think there's a total of 20 people in our Hall of Fame, and you can see that Hall of Fame on our website, and there'll be a social media post come out acknowledging one of those great artists every Wednesday, hopefully. So if I remember. So, but 20 people in our Hall of Fame. But Stewie, it was a big night for the Golden Guitars.
Yeah, it was.
And once again, they stream the show on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So
awesome.
This is you would think there would be some commercial interest in the show, that it'd be on one of those 7+ or something shows, or even on the ABC. A lot of the artists that won Golden Guitars happen to be ABC artists. But they stream it on YouTube, and I think that whether they have to because they don't have that commercial deal, or whether they want to make sure that they're connecting with the fans. I'm hoping it's the second one, because I just think that's just awesome. So people like us can sit there on a Saturday night, have a couple of beers and watch the Golden Guitars and argue about, because that's a great Australian tradition, arguing about whether that person deserved it or not. So, but the big story of the night, and we're going to do this a little bit differently to what we've done in the past. We're not just going to go through every category, because there were some standouts. There were some multiple winners. Huge night for the Wolfe Brothers.
It was a massive night for the Wolfe Brothers. They've been around a while too now. They've won a lot of other awards, but they certainly scooped the pool on Saturday night. They did a really, really good job.
So let me see if I've got this right. Album of the year. Contemporary country album of the year. heritage song, vocal collaboration, and group duo of the year. Amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah. And we had a couple of people that we know in that album of the year. Tom Curtin was part of that. Brendan Radford, of course, we'll talk about Brendan a little bit later on because he picked up his second golden guitar.
Yep.
So we'll talk about Brendan a little bit later on. But there were some big names, and for them to win in that category was incredible. And what I heard on the night was one of them, and I don't know who's who in the zoo with the Wolfe Brothers. The proudest thing that he talked about was 9 months sober. It was his first golden guitar sober.
Yeah. So not bad for a couple of bunch of boys that come off a farm in Tassie. They're Tassie boys, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I guess one of the things that people say about Wolfe Brothers and about Tamworth is that we don't have to sound like Nashville to be country. And I think a lot of people say that. To be honest, I haven't heard much of the Wolfe Brothers. As most people would know, it's not really my genre. However, being mates with Big Stu,
across it. So,
but they say that Australian-made album it's not flashy. It's not about chasing trends, but there's a confidence and a grounding in it. So, Wolfe Brothers, whatever you're doing, some of the numbers of golden guitars that were announced on the night was incredible too. Some people 19 golden guitars. Part of me's thinking, just share it around, boys. but they were the big winners. So congratulations to the Wolfe Brothers.
They did well.
She rolled out the line in 79 from the plant in Adelaide. 20 years later, eyes of B played, her heart set on a big V8. The moment I saw her, she was mine. I never even flinched when I saw the price. I didn't know nothing about cars of life, but I knew we'd be fine. 'Cause she's Australian made, heart and soul. She'll be right, good as gold, easy as all full of fight. In this world, ain't nothing like Australian made.
They did well.
Another one who was a surprise and not a golden guitar winner, but they call it the Hall of Renown, don't they?
Yes.
And that was Adam Harvey.
Adam Harvey.
Yeah. So well done.
That was awesome. And he's been around a long time too. So done the good job. The 50, I think it's 54th person or something who's got an award there. And so they get a boulder out the front of the entertainment centre there and a plaque on there as a recognition. So, but he's been around for quite a while. Geelong boy. Started performing at the age of 10.
Yeah.
At the age of 23, so he jumped on the bandwagon with Don Williams and started touring. So got out on the road, got his first golden guitar in 1998. So 12 months after he got on the road, age 24, he got his first golden guitar. He won the 2007. He's awarded the CMA Global Country Artist Award and the Centenary Medal for charity work. So he obviously started a lot of charity work back then. Still does a lot of charity work to this day. He sold 500,000 albums. He's got 9 golden guitars and he's had 5 ARIA nominations. And he's done collaborations, as a lot of these country guys do, with Brian Cadd, Lee Kernaghan, John Williamson, and his country songbook that he brought out with Troy Casadale and Bet Cole. So
unbelievable.
He's done a lot.
The one thing he doesn't have on his resume is an episode on the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. He was almost there. He was booked in, and unfortunately, he had some bad news from family-wise, and couldn't make it on the day, which was such a shame because I just wanted to hear him talk. He's got that sort of a voice, doesn't he? He's a real big voice. So, so Adam, you're always welcome on the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. I think Braggy was a bit disappointed that we didn't get to hear your voice on that particular episode, but I hope everything's right in the family. So the other big winner, I guess, and this is got a real interesting story behind it. Kasey Chambers, Shane Nicholson, the divorce song. They've been divorced 10 years, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they finally plucked up the courage to do some work together, and they wrote this song called The Divorce Song. They ended up winning Song of the Year and Single of the Year. Yeah. So I don't know how that differentiates, but anyway, it does. Song of the Year, Single of the Year for The Divorce Song. I think they won another one.
The alternative
Kasey
country
won one.
Yeah, the alternative Americana country album of the year.
And I suppose, in their acceptance speeches, they talked about they wrote the song via text message.
Yeah, exactly, and quite quickly. It was done very quickly. And they saying, and they're very adamant about the fact that they do divorce well. They're better together after the divorce than when they were.
They're better divorced
when they were married.
They're married. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and they look very good. They very amicable and did a really good job together. So it was really, really good.
Yeah, 10 years. It's just a phenomenal story. And
we sat till death do us part, but death didn't come quick enough. Maybe we did it all wrong, kinda messed everything up. The promises turned into prison on either side of the divide. It was till death do us part, till we knew our hearts had already died. It's a long road to get to the goal. We made it through paper and wood. Couldn't survive as the marrying kind, but we do divorce pretty good.
Story, and I wonder, Stu, how much the story has in line with that impact for the award.
Yeah.
So if they wrote about sunflowers in the field, would that have won?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
And they were, it was a very emotional. Obviously a lot of emotion went into it because where they at the time they obviously were, not in a good place together.
Yeah.
And that emotion turned into a really good music, really good words, and a great song.
Yeah, and so well done, Kasey seems to have been around forever, doesn't she? So
there's one other song too that Kasey and Shane Nicholson performed on the night. It's songs, and it was a song called Nataria.
Yeah, that
which was sung by Warren H. Williams.
Yeah.
And it's the very first song that's been sung 100% totally in the Indigenous language.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was really, really good.
It was
awesome.
One of the things I find with Indigenous language songs, they always seem to be haunting, right? But it was a special moment in the show, and you could see that it meant. I mean, they spoke. What was his name again? Warren.
Warren. Yeah.
They spoke to Warren on the red carpet, and he was so nervous, right? So nervous, and he talked about that. But then on the night, he was on the stage. He was awesome. Yeah. And then you could see what it also meant to Kasey and Shane, right? So that was pretty special. And once again, that's the Golden Guitars. They produce stuff like that, don't they?
Yep, they do.
The next guy I just want to talk about, Stewie, and it's one that probably had a couple of drinks on the night. And
the loose kid.
I don't think with his final acceptance, I didn't think he was going to get off stage. I turned to Sharon. I said, I think he's had a couple, and that's Wade Forster. Yeah. So he really arrived this year.
He did.
At Tamworth.
Certainly larger than life. The full package. The suit he was wearing, all the kids had worn, and it was fantastic. The tie, the suit,
and that's been auctioned. So well done, Wade.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. But the songs were very good. A guy that's come from bull riding. That's what he was, a bull rider.
He's a Townsville boy. He's from up north.
He's up north. Yeah, he's up north. Yeah, and he did radio to earn some money, and then been a mechanic, and he's just done a bit of everything. And just what was he saying on the show? I'm a 27-year-old in a 12-year-old body.
No, 12-year-old in a
27-year-old body.
That's twice you've stuffed that.
It is. Big kid, but certainly on the watch list. certainly someone that is charismatic, is energetic, and is a bit of sort of like larger than life, you know.
And
so
some of the performances I saw from Wade during the week around Tamworth, very dynamic. He's got a very young fan base as well. So he obviously has got a very broad appeal, and having those youngsters coming through, really loving his music, I think he's in for a really long and successful career.
Definitely.
Just maybe some words of advice. I heard his after party was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I did get to see something online of he fortunately or unfortunately managed to grab a mic. It was quite colourful, but still very entertaining, and he held a very good audience. Everyone was enjoying what he's doing, so no one got hurt. So
good luck to him, but maybe there's a couple of things you just need to tone down. Take some advice from the Wolfe Brothers. So, but.
I'm the last of a long dying breed. I left the world as soon as the world left me. I leave all my problems in a fuel-fired pile, along with the jeans and dreams that I ain't worn in a while. I've lived a hell of a life, and my scars show that. My life was rambling on and never getting called back. I was drowning in the lemon, whiskey, bitters, and the sin. The worst part of it all is not where the troubles begin. These days, cowboys.
Not, you had every right to celebrate. So, Young Artist of the Year, wasn't it? New Talent of the Year and Male Artist of the Year. That's phenomenal.
That is really, really good.
And we had some of my favourite country artists. You know, Mel Dyer's one, for example. Who was the female host again?
Amber Lawrence.
Amber Lawrence,
and
she's pretty cool. She's got
Amber Lawrence.
She's got some personality.
And
Kasey Barnes was the male.
They did a great job together. I thought they were really good
I thought
together.
they were pretty good. But Max Jackson came back. I don't know what came back. I think it was only 2 years ago she won New Talent of the Year. So I don't know what a comeback is if 2 years later you win. What was it? Female Artist of the Year. I think that's a pretty good trajectory. But people are saying she's come back. Max is a really, once again, I'd love to have Max Jackson on the podcast. Max, if you're listening, but she's just consistent in what she does. She's hardworking. Her socials work well. She's got a great demographic of followers. What else can you say?
Yeah, I think one of the comments you made that she prior to go to sing, she was out the back ready to perform, and she won the award. And she was meant to come. She wanted to come out and showcase the outfit that her mum had made for her, as she does with all the other stuff. But she had to come out and accept the award. So
that was pretty funny. But it also shows how humble. I mean, she was preparing to do the job on stage and not really thinking she was going to win.
Not at all.
Who are some of the other?
Most love songs I know are written about things like roses and diamonds and gold. A little love story like ours sure ain't the kind the storybooks told. What we've got, it ain't like the movies. Well, at least none that I've seen. They'd have to go way off the beaten dirt track to ever set out sane. I love you longer than all the back roads strung together one after one. I love you brighter than that burnt orange fire right there in that setting down sun. I love you stronger than 1,000 on wild horses, pounding across this land. I love you like only a country heart can.
Who are some of the other nominees in? Have you got that there at all?
In the female?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because there were some big names.
Oh, geez, where have I gone?
Because I know that, is it Ella Hooper from...
Yes.
Yeah, she was there. She made a big splash this year.
She's now starting to do a bit of country music
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So the nominees in the female arts was Kasey Chambers, Kylie Bell, Max Jackson, Sarah Berkey, and Sarah Storer. So
huge names.
Yeah.
Kylie Bell's one of your favourites
Yes,
too,
I saw her in concert actually with Kane Brown. Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
Good girl.
So, I mean, Max Jackson, well done. Absolutely awesome. Come on the podcast. What else can I say? Speaking about coming on the podcast, we do have this gentleman coming on the podcast. And it's in my notes here, just to the side, one of the quieter ones. And, you know, this was a category that we were looking at because we had Tom Curtin in there. And it was so good to see Tom Curtin's Here's to You, the 5th best-selling album.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. And he highlighted on his socials the day after the Golden Guitars that he actually had the #1 ARIA album of that week. And he beat James Johnson, who was the #1 selling album. So I think James could put just about anything out and get the #1 selling album here in Australia. And I don't mean that as any criticism. He's just got such a good formula and people love him. He's energetic on stage. But, you know, the reality is that he has got this huge fan base, and Tom builds his through the Catherine Outback experience. So, Tom, I was so happy the fact that you got the 5th best-selling album and then #1 ARIA the week after. But he was also a nominee for, what was it, the traditional country album?
Yes. Yep.
But didn't win it. But a good mate of the show, Brendan Radford, a good mate of Stuart.
Very good friend
He's
of
got
mine.
the shirt on to prove it.
There you go, Brendan.
I was going to wear mine, but I thought we can't be twinsies. So the traditional country album, what's the album called, Stu?
Start Over Again.
Yeah.
So great. It's actually my wife's favourite album. She never stops playing it. She's all over it. So it's really, really good. So.
Overalls, bib and brace, blue collar and a red face, perspiration, hot sun. It's nearly 5 and I'm not nearly done. Well, I've been going all day, not making much headway. Persistence, dig deep, I get it finished by the end of the week. Getting by is getting tough, making a living, but it's never quite enough. And I'm looking forward to the weekend, 'cause day after Sunday it'll start all over again.
Yeah, so she loves it too. So again, you said, you know, quietly spoken gentleman. And again, sitting back, he's the musical director for the show, sitting back ready to play music, gets nominated, got to take his earbuds out, he's got to come around the front and accept. And I think that's a great way to do it, you know. You can tell then it's not, you know, not staged, not planned. It's just.
I think he was surprised.
Yeah.
And you know, he had some big hitters. Who, apart from Tom, who else was nominated in that?
In the for the
traditional country.
Country was he had Dean Perrott, Tom Curtin, John Williamson, Brendan Walmsley, and Brendan Radford.
Yeah, Brendan Walmsley's a big name.
Yeah.
He pops up every year. John Williamson, who doesn't know him?
And this is his last year.
Yeah. So is he retiring? Because I heard him say that on the red carpet, and Sharon and I looked at it. John Williamson retiring?
He's just, I think, just turned his 80 or 81 or something. So I think he's I mean, I don't know whether musos actually retire at
I
any age.
don't think they do either.
They just slow down.
Someone will whisper in his ear and say, "You want to do a collaboration, or you want to help me write a song?" And you could just see John say, "Yeah, let's go, True Blue." But great legacy, John Williamson. But Brendan, congratulations. We're talking with Brendan this Wednesday for the podcast, which will come out on the Friday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Stewie loves the song. They don't flick the finger.
Yeah, and that was part. That was in there as a bluegrass.
Yeah.
So
Brendan's got a bit of a mix to his music.
Very much. He doesn't write in any set genre, any set format. He's quite all over the place. And amazing guitarist, very good fingerpicking guitarist.
And I think now that Brendan's retired, you'll actually see more music coming from him.
You do. That's what he does now. And he mentioned that again. Prior to that, he had 50 odd years in another world. Now all of a sudden, it is music. That is it.
Yeah.
So he's playing more, he's recording more, he's doing duos with people and all sorts.
So is there anything we need to... the guy who won the Star Maker...
Yes.
He was on...
Jared Wrigley. He was on Farmer Wants a Wife.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen him before. When I'm seeing these socials coming through the week of... my algorithm, it stuffs up my algorithm, right? So I can't find fuzzy band, garage bands from Adelaide. I end up seeing all the stuff out of the Golden Guitars. But I'm looking at him saying, I know this guy. So he was on...
He was in the last season of Farmer Wants a Wife, obviously not successful. And one of the first things
saying, thank God.
Well, he jumped on the back of a truck the first thing and played a guitar, a bit of tune to his girlfriend, and he's at Stanthorpe. He's got at Stanthorpe. That's where a Queensland boy. So I don't know if it's a Queensland boy, but he's living, working, and recording and making music in Queensland. So
and as part of that Star Maker or whatever it's called, Toyota Star Maker, Josie was on there. She's been on the show. Josie from Townsville. We had Sarah Catania. She was in there. She's lovely. She has got the total package. If Sarah's not a star in the next 3 years at Golden Guitars, I don't know who is. But Tyler Rodriguez also had great Tamworth. She performed on the night Golden Guitars. So Nashville love her. So I think she's another one that will find her way into Nashville over the next year and take the punt. Mel Dyer's living there at the moment. Brittany Elise is living there at the moment, and I'm pretty confident that Tyler Rodriguez is going to go there as well.
She's certainly got that style. So
just remember, they all came on. I took the Mel. We haven't had Mel yet.
Come on, Mel.
Come on, Rossi. Get Mel on there before she heads back.
There's your invite.
Yeah. So to sum it up, Stewie, what do you think Tamworth this year told us about Australian country music?
I think that it's on the up. It's got an amazing following.
Yeah.
It's going from strength to strength. There's a lot more people getting involved. You're looking at 400 buskers. They're people that want to be, and I'm sure, no doubt, in the other genres, there's people out there, punching away in pubs and clubs and whatever. But all the chat with all the pollies down there, whatever, is just saying how good a stead it's in, how it's going forward leaps and bounds, and sort of watch this space, as we move forward. So.
Yeah, I'm seriously actually thinking to find out what it takes to get the podcast out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I hear all these horror stories about accommodation at Tamworth, but then, this year I picked up a number of people saying, well, it's really not that bad, Tony, right?
That's not.
So it may be an opportunity, and we'd like to do it officially if we're going to do it. A little bit different to shout out to the boys. That's a little bit of guerrilla marketing, and once again, big shout out, Katie Brooke, Brittany Elise, well done, love yous. But it would be an interesting thing to have the podcast set up in Peel Street, for example, to be able to talk to punters, to be able to talk to some of the buskers, and no doubt some of the artists that would come by and we could chat to them. I think it'd be a really good place for us, but whether we can make that happen, I don't know. So.
But you can't just pull up and jump in there. You probably get thrown out. So they need to get some sort of approval. But that would be awesome.
Yeah,
imagine that.
Some sort of approval and some dollars, no doubt.
You never know. Who knows?
I'm very much aware it's a commercial enterprise at some stage, right? And while Golden Guitar stream their stuff on YouTube, which I love, their 5 minutes of ads before the stream starts sort of indicates that it's still this isn't out of the goodness of our heart, Tony. We've got to pay for this, so
exactly right.
Which is awesome. So, how long has Tamworth been going?
54 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, it's really good. And I think just one more thing I think is worth mentioning. They provided an award on the night for the Country Music Capital Award. And it went to a gentleman named Barry Harley. So Barry is the guy that organises all this and has done from day one.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see that go to someone that's devoted. I'm not saying that the musos don't, but this guy, back office, out of the way, back of stage, has a heap of people working with him. They do an amazing job of putting this on and chasing everyone up throughout the years and making it all happen. So it's nice to see someone like that's now going to stepping away now after 54 years. Whoever picks it up, they got big shoes to fill to keep going with it.
You can actually see the love.
Oh,
yeah. Who announced that?
I think it was Beck. Was it Beck Cole?
Yeah. Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Said that she was. What was it? Was she? She said he was. When I was down and out, he's one that comes and said to me, "I believe in you.
Yeah.
And you need to, you've got to
coach too.
Get on going." So a mentor but he's very influential in that industry and has done an amazing job. And the amount of people out in the background that don't get the accolades. And we always sit and we talk about the guys on stage and making the music, and it all happens because these guys put it together. So to Barry Harley, well done, sir. You've done a great job.
Yeah, the Golden Guitars are certainly something special, and it's one of the things that we've really seriously got to think about. How do we get there? I don't know if I could do 10 days of country music, but maybe a couple might be okay.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you don't have to. There's something on. There's a lot of food. There's you can go and have a beer garden, and and you can just listen to. It's not all in your face.
And it's not just the Golden Guitars that are awarded. There's Your Town Country Awards. There's other awards right throughout the week.
Yep.
So it's huge. So I never really had my eyes open to the Golden Guitars. I used to think it was probably something that just happened, and the country music and Chad Morgans of the world would be there. Love you. But I mean, and I say that with endearment because my dad used to listen to Chad Morgan and the Sheik of Scrubby Creek just about every time we were in the car. So, but that was my thought process around Tamworth until we started talking to some of these amazing artists that we've had on our podcast.
Yeah.
Got to know them, got to love them, so much so that Katie Brooks does the whole shout out to the boys, which is a little bit of a fun thing. And we actually really don't expect them to do it. And the fact that we've had two is just amazing to us. So,
awesome.
And because I also look at it from their point of view, they get an opportunity on the red carpet to showcase themselves and the brand, right? And so I'm fully understanding why they don't necessarily say, "Hey, shout out to the boys," But to those that have, we just love you. So, so congratulations to all the Golden Guitar winners, nominees, people that attended, people that are involved. It's just an amazing day in the music calendar. Let's not just focus. It's not just country music. It's the music calendar that's amazing. And to all those country artists that are coming up, still grinding, to all the winners, James Johnson, the only thing he picked up this year was the best-selling album.
Yep.
So Kasey Barnes was nominated, didn't really win anything. So some of the bigger names, did Lee Kernaghan get something? No. So some of those bigger names missed out this year, but we saw that steamroll from the Wolfe Brothers.
Which I think is great that there is a wave coming through now.
Yeah.
With the Lee Kernagans of this world have been around a long time, and everyone's hung their hat on these guys, and now they've got support, and these young people coming through, and country music's in a good place.
Absolutely. All right, so if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you go check out the Golden Guitar winners and some of the nominees. We'll have some of the links in the show notes, of course. We'll add their music that we've talked about tonight to our playlists that are available on Spotify, Apple YouTube Music, and Amazon Music. I'm thinking Amazon's probably the lightest of the platforms, just quietly looking at some of the stats around that. We don't just celebrate the ones that win, although it's awesome that we can do that, but we celebrate all those people that are bubbling up and who take that time in Tamworth to showcase their wares, to have some fun, to build some networks, and hopefully move on to even bigger and better things. And for those people, we're looking at you because we really want you to be successful. Anyway, Stuart, thanks for joining me. It's Friday afternoon. We're just about, well, we've had one or two already, so maybe one or two more before I pop home and say hello to my wife. So, but thank you for tuning in and thanks for joining us. As I said, this week we've got Brendan Radford on the podcast, so when Friday's episode comes out, let's tune in. We've got Big Stu again on that podcast. I know you're looking forward to catching up with Brendan. He's a good friend of yours, so it'll be awesome. So until then, we will see you then.
Shout out to the boys.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.